Welcome back to the BookCast. Today we are unpacking every layer of the incredible novel, Persuasion.
Oh, Persuasion, yes.
Get ready for a deep dive into its characters, themes, and the hidden meanings behind the story.
Absolutely.
We're not just recapping a plot, we're extracting the most important nuggets of wisdom from Jane Austen's final completed work, offering you a shortcut to truly understanding its enduring power.
It's a brilliant choice for a deep dive, precisely because, well, Persuasion is just a masterclass in subtlety,
Yeah.
emotional depth, and that piercing social commentary she does so well.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to explore how Austen uses these characters and their struggles to reflect these profound truths about human nature, societal pressures back then, early 19th century, and of course the enduring power of second chances.
Second chance is definitely a key theme.
Think of it as like peeling back layers to reveal the surprising facts and resonant insights that make this novel just so timeless.
So let's pull back the curtain on our story, beginning in Somersetshire at the rather grand Kellynch Hall, home to Sir Walter Elliot. From the outside, it looks magnificent, a testament to inherited status. But as we quickly find out, beneath that stately facade, a significant rot has set in.
Yeah, big time.
What's truly driving this family's decline, and, well, who is this Sir Walter Elliot?
Well, at its heart, the decline is really driven by Sir Walter Elliot's, almost pathological vanity. It's quite something.
Really, a vanity.
Oh, yeah. He's a baronet, right? A hereditary title, just below a baron. And he's utterly obsessed with his own reflection and, maybe more tellingly, with the baronetage.
The baronetage, what's that exactly?
It's kind of a social register, lists all the noble families. And for him, this wasn't just casual interest. The book was his constant companion. He'd find occupation for an idle hour and consolation in a distressed one, just poring over its pages. He loved reading his own history and casting pity and contempt on those he thought were lesser or newer creations.
Yeah.
It's Austen's scathing commentary, isn't it? She uses Sir Walter to show how inherited status and, well, unchecked narcissism can blind people to their own financial ruin.
Prioritizing appearance over reality.
Exactly. Even as their whole world is crumbling around them.
And crumble it certainly is. Despite the lineage and the grand house, Sir Walter is, deep in debt. His extravagance finally catching up.
Totally.
It's a classic Austen irony where the very symbols of status become anchors, just dragging you down.
Precisely. The narrative makes it really clear that his current obsession with the baronetage isn't just for fun anymore. It's to drive the heavy bills of his tradespeople and the unwelcome hints of Mr. Shepherd, his agent, from his thoughts.
So he's literally using it to distract himself from his money problems.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
He felt a state required in his possessor of Kellynch, this imagined standard of living that was, way beyond his actual income.
Right.
It's a fascinating insight into how self-delusion can lead straight to self-destruction, and a reminder that even back then, keeping up appearances could be a very, very expensive game.
Now let's meet the unfortunate family living under this financially strained roof, especially the three Elliot daughters.
Yes.
We learn that Lady Elliot, Sir Walter's late wife, had been a sensible woman whose method, moderation, and economy had, for a time anyway, kept her husband's excesses in check.
The steady hand.
But she passed away 7 years before our story begins, leaving her daughters to the guidance, or maybe misguidance, of their conceited, silly father.
And that lack of sensible guidance, it really shaped them profoundly, didn't it? It highlights the precarious position of women in this era.
For sure.
First, there's Elizabeth Elliot. She's the eldest, 29, still single. And unfortunately, she's pretty much a mirror of her father.
Oh, really? Shares the vanity.
Completely. Shares his vanity and his relentless pursuit of social elevation. She believes herself still quite as handsome as ever. But, the approach to the years of danger, meaning her dwindling prospects for a suitable marriage, is a very real, very pressing concern for her.
So she's feeling the pressure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Her intense family pride means she's actively seeking a prestigious match, more for status, really, than for genuine affection.
Then there's our protagonist, Anne Elliot, the second girl of 27.
Oh, Anne.
She's presented as intelligent, deeply feeling, but so often overlooked and undervalued by both her father and her elder sister.
Yeah, it's quite sad, actually.
She's described as too little from home, too little seen, a quiet presence whose role often just falls to being useful, a pretty thankless duty within her own family.
Always useful, Anne.
She's the heart of the story, yet initially she's the most marginalized.
And finally, there's Mary Musgrove, Née Elliott, the youngest, married to Charles Musgrove. She's a vivid study in, well, self-pity and demanding attention.
Oh, dear.
Mary is characterized by constant, often imagined ailments and just a seemingly endless stream of complaints. She manipulates situations to her advantage, frequently claiming Anne for her own convenience, reasoning, I cannot possibly do without Anne.
Always needing Anne.
Always. It's a stark portrait of emotional immaturity, really. Shows how some individuals weaponize perceived weakness for control, even over people who genuinely care for them.
The family's financial distress then comes to a head with the shadow of debt, Mr. Shepherd, the family agent, along with Lady Russell.
Right, Lady Russell.
Lady Elliot's intimate and sensible, deserving friend, they're brought in to advise Sir Walter. What emerges from these discussions about retrenchment?
Well, this is where Anne's quiet wisdom really shines, even though it's, largely ignored.
Of course.
She's consulted and in a degree was influenced by her in marking out the scheme of retrenchment. But her suggestions, her emendation, had been on the side of honesty against importance.
Honesty over appearances.
Exactly. She advocated for more vigorous measures, a more complete reformation, basically urging for genuine, if painful, austerity, cut back for real.
And Sir Walter's reaction.
Predictable indignation. He refuses what he calls disgraceful terms of living within his means. He'd rather quit Kellynch Hall at once than face such a profound reduction in his perceived status.
Wow. Abandon the ancestral home.
Rather that than live modestly there. It's a moment that subtly critiques the social rules of the time, where upholding appearances could be more important than financial solvency or even, family well-being.
So his pride is so profound. This brings us to Sir Walter's own Pride and Prejudice, specifically his rather cutting disdain for the Navy.
Yes, the Navy.
The profound secret, a source of immense degradation for Sir Walter, is that Kellynch Hall must be let out to tenants to alleviate his debts.
And when Mr. Shepherd, the pragmatic agent, suggests wealthy naval commanders as ideal tenants, well, Sir Walter's class prejudices just erupt.
Let me guess, not good enough for him.
Not nearly. He dismisses naval officers as hardly fit to be seen, asserting, I should be sorry to see any friend of mine belonging to it. He even declares, with a typical flourish of superficiality, the sea is no beautifier, certainly. Sailors do grow old betimes.
How charming.
It's an almost comical display of snobbery, but it highlights a deeper societal bias, doesn't it? Against the meritocratic rise of naval men compared to the inherited status of landowners like himself.
And Mrs. Clay, the agent's daughter.
Mrs. Clay, Mr. Shepherd's daughter. Yeah, she's a keen social climber. She sycophantically agrees, seeing an opportunity to flatter Sir Walter, butter him up.
But then Anne quietly steps in. It's one of her rare but powerful moments of outspokenness.
Yes, it's brilliant.
She defends the Navy, stating, the Navy, I think, who have done so much for us, have at least an equal claim with any other set of men for all the comforts and all the privileges which any home can give. Sailors work hard enough for their comforts, we must all allow.
It's such a great line. This isn't just defending sailors. It's Anne staking a claim for meritocracy over inherited privilege, a core theme Austen really champions throughout the novel.
Absolutely. A radical idea for its time and a clear signal of Anne's independent thought.
That moment is absolutely crucial for understanding Anne. It contrasts her moral compass, valuing actual contribution and sacrifice, against her father's total superficiality. And in a classic Austen twist, it completely foreshadows the entrance of a very significant naval officer.
Setting the stage.
Exactly. Setting the stage for one of the most poignant love stories in literature.
Indeed. So a tenant is found for Kellynch, bringing in Admiral Croft.
Admiral Croft, yeah.
He's a Somersetshire native who made his fortune at sea, described as being of a gentleman's family. Yet even with this, Sir Walter's prejudice persists. He imagines the Admiral's face would be orange as the cuffs and capes of my livery. A truly petty visual judgment. So petty. But Mrs. Croft, the Admiral's wife, quickly proves to be forced to be reckoned with. She's described as a very well-spoken, genteel, shrewd lady, and notably more conversant with business than her husband.
Interesting.
And it's Mrs. Croft who casually drops the crucial connection. She is the sister to the gentleman who lived a few years back at Monkford.
And that gentleman, as Sir Walter dismisses him, is Mr. Wentworth. Nobody, I remember. Quite unconnected.
Oh, the irony.
Right. For Anne, that name is anything but nobody. It's a name that unlocks a floodgate of painful memories, and this brings us right to Anne's lingering heartache. The story of Captain Wentworth.
Yes. We flash back more than 7 years prior, when Anne was just 19. She had fallen rapidly and deeply in love with Frederick Wentworth.
The naval officer?
Then a young naval officer, yeah. He possessed no fortune, but immense ambition, sanguine confidence, and just a truly engaging spirit. You can see why she fell for him.
But the opposition, immediate and strong. Sir Walter, predictably, founded a very degrading alliance. Lady Russell, with her more tempered and pardonable pride, considered it most unfortunate. She saw Wentworth's self-assured confidence as an aggravation of the evil.
She didn't trust his confidence.
Not at all. She deprecated the connection in every light, believing Anne should marry someone with established wealth and status, security.
And here's the crux of Anne's past regret. She yielded. She listened.
She did. It was Lady Russell's strong influence, what the novel calls her over-persuasion, that convinced Anne the engagement was indiscreet, improper, hardly capable of success, and not deserving it.
Wow.
Despite her profound feelings, Anne, out of a sense of duty and respect for Lady Russell's wisdom, broke the engagement.
That must have been incredibly difficult.
Oh, devastating. That act of yielding led to the broken engagement and Wentworth's departure from the country. Heartbroken and furious, actually.
And for Anne.
The suffering was profound and long-lasting. Her attachment and regrets had, for a long time, clouded every enjoyment of youth, and an early loss of bloom and spirits had been their lasting effect. She carried the weight of that decision for years, believing she'd made the right choice for her family, but sacrificing her own happiness.
It's a powerful exploration of how external pressures can shape your destiny, isn't it? And how the pain of a choice can just linger for years.
Absolutely. But time, it turns out, has been kinder to Wentworth. And this is where his character arc really begins to soar.
Okay.
His confidence. It was more than justified. He distinguished himself and early gained the other step in rank and must now, by successive captures, have made a handsome fortune.
So he made it big.
He did. He is indeed no longer nobody. His merit has triumphed over his initial lack of connections, exactly what Anne defended earlier.
Full circle.
The news of the Crofts Wentworth's sister and brother-in-law occupying Kellynch Hall naturally revives all of Anne's former pain. The narrator tells us that many a stroll and many a sigh were necessary to dispel the agitation of the idea.
Oh, I bet.
She had hoped she'd outlive the age of blushing, but definitely not the age of deep emotion. This deep dive into her past sets the intensely personal stage for a very significant and eventually painful return.
So with Kellynch Hall let, Sir Walter and Elizabeth head off to Bath, taking Mrs. Clay with them to, maintain their social facade.
Got to keep up appearances.
This leads Anne to what initially seems like a rather unwelcome temporary retreat at Uppercross Cottage with Mary.
Yes, and Mary, true to form, often a little unwell and always thinking a great deal of her own complaints, insists Anne come to Uppercross Cottage, stating, "I cannot possibly do without Anne."
Of course not.
And Elizabeth, ever dismissive, comments, "Then I am sure Anne had better stay, for nobody will want her in Bath."
Ouch, that's harsh.
It's a cutting remark, certainly. Yet Anne, ever practical and seeking purpose, finds a quiet solace in it. She reflects that to be claimed as a good, though in an improper style, is at least better than being rejected as no good at all, finding value in being thought of some use.
Always trying to find the positive.
It highlights Anne's profound need for purpose and recognition, even if it comes from such a demanding source. Uppercross Cottage itself, described charmingly as farmhouse elevated into a cottage with its veranda, French windows, and other prettinesses, offers this superficial charm that kind of contrasts with the emotional landscape inside.
This shift in scenery introduces us to the Musgrove family dynamics, a lively contrast to the suffocating atmosphere of Kellynch.
Definitely a different vibe.
Charles Musgrove, Mary's husband, is civil and agreeable, but clearly lacks a strong character, doing nothing with much zeal but sport.
Yeah, nice enough, but a bit passive. And at the Great House, we meet the Musgrove parents and their daughters, Henrietta, 19, and Louisa, 20.
The young ladies.
They're presented as vibrant young women, living to be fashionable, happy, and merry, full of youthful energy. However, this lively household is also marked by incessant, petty family squabbles.
Oh, like what?
Mary constantly complains about Mr. and Mrs. Musgrove spoiling her children and taking her precedence. Meanwhile, Mrs. Musgrove complains about Mary's children and servants.
So constant bickering.
Pretty much. It's a delightful, if exasperating, portrayal of domestic chaos that showcases Austen's keen eye for everyday human foibles.
And Anne, predictably, becomes the unthanked mediator in all of this, always on friendly terms with her brother-in-law.
The peacemaker.
She's the calming presence, the one the children love and respect more than their own mother. She finds her role providing object of interest, amusement, and wholesome exertion, and her spirits improve by change of place and subject.
It's a testament to her quiet competence, isn't it? That even in this demanding environment, she finds a measure of peace and purpose. Her indispensable role here truly allows her character to shine, setting her apart from both the superficiality of her own family and the petty squabbles of the Musgroves.
But this period of relative peace is short-lived, as news of Captain Wentworth's return begins to spread like wildfire.
Dun, dun, dun.
And what a return it promises to be. News that Captain Wentworth is staying at Kellynch with the Crofts quickly reaches Uppercross, with Mr. Musgrove returning warm in his praise.
Everyone's talking about him.
But their first meeting is under rather dramatic circumstances. Little Charles Musgrove, Mary's son,
Oh yeah, the accident.
he dislocates his collarbone, preventing Anne, Mary, and the Miss Musgroves from going to the great house where Wentworth is expected.
So inconvenient for them. Henrietta and Louisa, those lively young women, are absolutely perfectly delighted with Captain Wentworth, finding him infinitely more agreeable than anyone they'd known before.
Instantly charmed.
Totally. Mary, however, true to her self-centered nature, complains that Charles wants to dine with Captain Wentworth, telling Anne, "You, who have not a mother's feelings, are a great deal the properest person to stay with the sick child."
Wow. Using the mother's feelings card.
Right. And once again finds herself glad to be thought of some use, a bittersweet comfort, even in that manipulative context.
The actual first meeting between Anne and Captain Wentworth is understated, almost painfully so, but absolutely charged with unspoken emotion.
It really is. Their eye half met Captain Wentworth, a bow, a curtsy passed. He talks to others, establishing an easy footing. Yet for Anne, it's as if she herself was nothing.
Oh, that must have hurt.
A moment of devastating clarity for her. This initial encounter sets up the heartbreaking realization for Anne that she is altered beyond his knowledge.
How does she react internally?
She struggles with profound internal turmoil, thinking, 8 years, almost 8 years have passed. What might not 8 years do? She grapples with the idea that for retentive feelings, meaning deep, long-held emotions, 8 years may be little more than nothing.
So her feelings haven't faded.
Not at all. But she questions his sentiments, wondering, was this like wishing to avoid her? The pain of his seeming indifference cuts deep.
The crushing blow, that silent, deep mortification, comes when Mary innocently relays Captain Wentworth's casual comment to Henrietta. "You were so altered he should not have known you again."
Oof, that's brutal. It's a moment that highlights the sharp contrast between Anne's internal world of lingering affection and Wentworth's seemingly detached and rather cruel observation.
What's really going on in his head, though?
Well, what's truly poignant, and revealed to us later, is Wentworth's internal thoughts. He had not forgiven Anne, not at all.
Still holding that grudge.
This time, he viewed her yielding to Lady Russell's persuasion as feebleness of character, a weakness in timidity. He believed her power with him was gone forever.
Wow. So harsh.
He was, in fact, quite ready to make a foolish match, looking for any pleasing young woman, excepting Anne Elliot. His initial assessment is harsh, but it speaks volumes about the depth of his past hurt and his pride. It also forces us to question our own snap judgments based on perceived character flaws, doesn't it?
Definitely makes you think. The Musgrove family's selective memory also provides a moment of dark humor, or perhaps more accurately, stark realism, with the specter of poor Richard.
Ah, yes. Poor Dick Musgrove.
Mrs. Musgrove often remembers her deceased son, poor Richard, with sentimental fondness, imagining he would have been just such another as Captain Wentworth.
But Captain Wentworth, with his characteristic bluntness and practicality, offers a starkly different reality.
Yeah.
He describes Richard as a thick-headed, unfeeling, unprofitable Dick Musgrove who had never done anything to entitle himself to more than the abbreviation of his name, living or dead.
Wow. No sugarcoating there.
None whatsoever. This moment cuts through the romanticized grief, highlighting Wentworth's no-nonsense perspective and his lack of sentimentality for those undeserving. It also serves to remind us that not all grief is equal, nor are all memories always accurate.
We also get a lively debate about naval life between Mrs. Croft and Captain Wentworth himself.
Yes, this is a great scene.
Wentworth, perhaps displaying a touch of what he considers gallantry, claims he hates to hear of women on board or to see them on board due to the perceived lack of proper accommodations.
Oh, Mrs. Croft is having none of that.
Yeah.
As a true sailor's wife, she offers a spirited rebuttal, drawing on her own extensive experience at sea with her husband.
What does she say?
She declares, with genuine conviction, that women may be as comfortable on board as in the best house in England. I believe I have lived as much on board as most women. She challenges his idle refinement, highlighting a more pragmatic and experienced perspective on gender roles and the practical realities of naval life.
Good for her.
This exchange subtly hints at the kind of partner Anne might aspire to be, one who embraces the realities of her husband's profession with strength and adaptability.
As Captain Wentworth becomes a regular fixture at Uppercross, new affections stirring become very apparent, involving Henrietta, Louisa, and Charles Hayter.
Right, the romantic quadrangle, or pentagon.
Charles Hayter is a country curate and a cousin, and there had been a prior considerable appearance of attachment between him and Henrietta.
The Musgrove family, ever keen on social advancement, immediately begins speculating on potential matches. Charles Musgrove champions Louisa for Wentworth, primarily due to his fortune.
Of course, the fortune.
While Mary, ever self-serving, champions Henrietta, largely to get rid of Hayter and secure a grander match for her sister. Mary even muses, "Lady Wentworth sounds very well. That would be a noble thing indeed for Henrietta. She would take place of me then."
Always thinking of herself.
Always. Anne, in her quiet way, observes that Louisa to be rather the favorite, discerning the subtle shifts in affection and attention. It's a masterclass in how society orchestrates potential matches, often with very little regard for genuine feeling.
Okay, here's where the narrative gains real momentum and the stakes are significantly raised, leading into the ill-fated trip to Lyme and its aftermath.
Yes, Lyme Regis, crucial part of the book.
Captain Wentworth travels to Lyme to visit his friends, introducing us to new faces, Captain Harville and Captain Benwick.
Right. Captain Harville is a naval officer, wounded and in poor health, and Captain Benwick is mourning his deceased fiancée, Fanny Harville, Captain Harville's sister.
Benwick sounds quite melancholy.
He is. Described as having quiet, serious, and retiring manners and a decided taste for reading and sedentary pursuits. He is deeply afflicted by his loss, a man consumed by grief.
And Anne connects with him.
She does. Ever empathetic, and having experienced her own prolonged heartbreak, she inwardly compares their grief, reflecting that he has not perhaps more sorrowing heart than I have. It's a moment of profound, unspoken connection for Anne, seeing her own long-held sadness reflected in another.
This shared sense of loss allows Anne to offer some gentle yet profound advice to Captain Benwick.
Yes, she recommends our best moralists, such collections of the finest letters, such memoirs of characters of worth and suffering as occurred to her at the moment as calculated to rouse and fortify the mind.
Using literature for resilience. Very Anne.
It's not just about coping with grief. It's about using literature and reflection to find resilience and perspective, a truly Anne solution that speaks volumes about her quiet strength and understanding. Her advice is truly insightful, advocating for intellectual engagement as a path through suffering.
But this tranquil intellectual exchange is suddenly and violently shattered by a shocking turn of events during the fateful walk on the Cobb.
Ah, the Cobb. Infamous.
The Musgrove party, including Anne, Henrietta, Louisa, Charles, and Captain Wentworth, take a trip to Lyme Regis. Louisa, known for her impulsiveness and craving for attention.
Headstrong Louisa.
She insists she must be jumped down the steep steps on the Cobb by Captain Wentworth, a rather reckless act.
And then the accident happens. Louisa, in her impulsiveness, falls, hitting her head hard on the pavement, rendering her insensible.
Oh my God.
The ensuing chaos is immediate and distressing. Charles is overcome with sobs of grief, and Mary is in hysterical agitations, completely unable to cope. It's a stark, sudden shift from playful flirtation to life-threatening danger.
Highlights the consequences of heedlessness.
Absolutely, and in this moment of extreme crisis, when everyone else is crumbling, who rises to the occasion?
It has to be Anne.
And it's almost a wry commentary on how often the most unassuming people hold the greatest strength, isn't it? She is the only one who maintains her composure, radiating strength, zeal, and thought, immediately and effectively attending to Henrietta, trying to calm Mary and Charles, and even working to assuage the feelings of Captain Wentworth, who is clearly blaming himself.
She takes charge.
Her actions here demonstrate her inherent strength, compassion, and remarkable practical competence, standing in stark contrast to the emotional and often useless reactions of everyone else around her. She is the steady hand, the clear mind in the midst of panic.
True usefulness when it matters most.
Exactly. And the Harvilles, with incredible kindness, immediately offer their home as a sick bay, with Mrs. Harville proving to be an experienced nurse.
So with Louisa gravely injured, the question arises, who stays with her?
Right. Charles insists on remaining. Henrietta is persuaded to go home to her parents, and then Captain Wentworth, witnessing Anne's extraordinary composure, makes a crucial proposal.
What does he suggest?
He states, if Anne will stay, no one so proper, so capable as Anne.
Wow, that's huge.
It is. This is the first really significant hint of his profound reevaluation of her, recognizing her quiet strength and capability in a way he hadn't before. But Mary, with her typical jealous and ill-judging claims, insists that she must stay despite her hysterical state, overriding all reason.
Oh, Mary, seriously?
Seriously. And, undervalued even in this crisis, is forced to leave.
That's just awful. And her departure.
Filled with astonishment and emotion, Anne feels valued only as she could be useful to Louisa, and is forced to quit Lyme, a painful injustice after her invaluable assistance. It's another moment where her true worth is overlooked by those closest to her.
This incident must be a turning point for Wentworth, too.
Absolutely pivotal.
Yep.
A powerful catalyst for his own internal journey. On the return journey, he is notably silent and pensive. The narrative subtly hints at his deep regret, as he muses that a persuadable temper might sometimes be as much in favor of happiness as a very resolute character.
He's rethinking things.
Big time. This marks a significant internal shift for him, a reevaluation of Anne's past decision to break their engagement and his own harsh judgment of her weakness.
Seeing it differently now.
He begins to see Anne's past yielding not as a flaw of character, but perhaps a nuanced decision made out of duty and good counsel. It's the seed of regret, starting to blossom into understanding and a fresh look at Anne.
And just like that, the scene shifts from the dramatic crisis at Lyme to the rather artificial and often farcical world of Bath.
Yes, welcome to Bath. Very different scene.
Anne returns to Lady Russell at Kellynch Lodge before joining Sir Walter and Elizabeth in what she observes as the grandeur and folly of Bath and their new, ostensibly improved life.
The Elliots are absolutely delighted with their new home in Camden Place, immersing themselves in superficial social climbing. They spend their time boasting about their superiority of appearance and cultivating new, noble acquaintances like the Dowager Viscountess Dalrymple and her daughter, the Honorable Miss Carteret.
Oh, the name-dropping begins.
Exactly. It's all about status, appearances, and the relentless pursuit of social validation for them, completely oblivious to the real costs.
Anne, however, with her keen perception, sees right through it all.
She always does.
Her observations reveal her father and sister to be vain and shallow, and she finds herself longing for more pride within them, a genuine, principled pride that would prevent their sycophancy towards nobility. She sighs at Sir Walter's degradation in his change, from a respected landowner to a mere social climber in Bath.
It's a subtle but powerful indictment of their values, isn't it? Contrasting their superficiality with Anne's growing depth.
This superficial world also sees Mr. Elliott's re-entry.
Ah, Mr. Elliot, the charming cousin.
He has Sir Walter's heir, whom Anne briefly saw at Lyme, and he's now assiduously cultivating the Elliots in Bath, ostensibly reconciling with them with great openness of conduct, such readiness to apologize for the past.
Putting on a good show. He presents a polished, charming facade, making him instantly agreeable to many.
He's described as possessing good understanding, correct opinions, knowledge of the world, and is rational, discreet, polished. Lady Russell. She falls for it, right?
Hook, line, and sinker. Completely taken in by his charm and suitability, she is perfectly decided that he will marry Anne, believing him to be an ideal match.
It's a testament to his cunning, isn't it, that he can deceive even the sensible Lady Russell.
Indeed. But Anne, with her acute intuition, harbors quiet doubts. Despite his agreeable manner, she finds him not open, observing him without any burst of feeling. She distrusted the past and perceives his value for rank and connection to be far greater than her own.
She senses something's off.
Exactly, sensing a deeper coldness beneath the charming exterior. Her intuition, as usual, proves unerringly correct, highlighting her ability to discern true character beneath social veneers.
And it's through Mrs. Smith's story that Mr. Elliott's true, insidious character is finally revealed.
Yes, poor Mrs. Smith.
Anne renews her acquaintance with Mrs. Smith, a former schoolfellow, now a poor, crippled widow living humbly in Bath.
The shocking truth about Mr. Elliot is brought to light by Mrs. Smith. She reveals he was once her husband's intimate friend and executor.
Oh, and he helped her.
Quite the opposite. He cynically encouraged Mr. Smith's extravagance, then refused to act as executor after his death, leaving Mrs. Smith utterly ruined.
No way. That's awful.
She describes him with chilling clarity as a man without heart or conscience, a designing, wary, cold-blooded being who thinks only of himself. Mrs. Smith even reveals an old letter where Mr. Elliot expresses relief at getting rid of Sir Walter and Miss, considering the family honor cheap as dirt.
Wow. Cold-blooded is right.
It's a devastating portrait of true villainy masquerading as civility.
What's particularly interesting and a testament to social pressures is Mrs. Smith's initial praise of Mr. Elliot to Anne.
Right. That was confusing at first.
She explains that she thought Anne's marriage to him was certain and felt her heart bled for you as I talked of happiness, unable to speak ill of him under that mistaken impression.
This shows how deeply ingrained the societal expectation of such a respectable match was, doesn't it? Even overriding a friend's honest counsel. It adds a crucial layer of complexity, showcasing Mr. Elliot's cunning ability to deceive so many.
Which brings us to Mr. Elliot's double game, ambition and deception, where his true motives are laid bare.
The plot thickens.
The actual motive for Mr. Elliot's sudden reconciliation with the Elliots is revealed. He discovered Mrs. Clay, Mr. Shepherd's daughter,
The sycophant.
was aiming to marry Sir Walter. He feared this artful woman would become Lady Elliot, potentially threatening his inheritance and his eventual succession to the baronetcy.
Ah, it's all about the title and the money.
So he returned to Bath with the view of renewing his former acquaintance and recovering such a footing in the family as might give him the means of ascertaining the degree of his danger and of circumventing the lady.
Playing a very long game. Anne even witnesses Mrs. Clay and Mr. Elliot in a friendly conference, a baffling sight until Mrs. Smith provides the illuminating explanation.
And Anne's reaction.
Profound relief and utter disgust. She is most thankful for her own knowledge of him, now seeing insincerity in everything. His conduct now strikes her as odious, and she is determined to avoid him at all costs.
Confirmation of her gut feeling.
Exactly. A pivotal moment of intellectual clarity for Anne.
This exposé leaves Lady Russell's misjudgment painfully clear. She is still under the firm impression that Mr. Elliot is a most agreeable or estimable man, and an ideal match for Anne.
Completely unaware of his true calculating nature, Anne now has a new, urgent mission. She must undeceive Lady Russell about Mr. Elliot's real character, despite the potential disappointment and pain this revelation will undoubtedly cause her dear friend.
A delicate task shows Anne's commitment to truth.
Even when it's uncomfortable.
Just as all this social maneuvering is unfolding, news arrives from Upper Cross. Louisa's surprise engagement, Captain Benwick's unexpected match.
What? No way.
Mary sends a letter with astonishing news. Louisa Musgrove is engaged to Captain Benwick.
Benwick, the grieving reader.
The very same. This is later confirmed by Admiral Croft, who heard it directly from Captain Wentworth.
Wow. Okay, didn't see that coming. Mary's feelings, predictably, are a mixed bag of petty complaints and grudging acceptance. She considers it not equal to her marrying Captain Wentworth, but concedes it's infinitely better than Charles Hayter.
Still ranking the matches?
Naturally. She can't help complaining about Benwick's quiet nature, saying he is rather too piano, meaning too quiet and reserved for her taste.
Too piano. That's brilliant.
Anne, however, with her deeper understanding of human connection, immediately grasps the situation at Lyme being thrown together during Louisa's recovery, combined with Benwick's mourning, which logically led to the match.
Proximity and shared experience.
Exactly. It's a reminder of how proximity and shared experience can forge unexpected bonds.
We also get Captain Wentworth's reaction to this news, as reported by Admiral Croft.
Is he upset?
Not at all. He very handsomely hopes they will be happy together. The Admiral observes, "Frederick is not a man to whine and complain. He has too much spirit for that. If the girl likes another man better, it is very fit she should have him."
Classy. Shows his genuine goodwill and profound lack of bitterness, a true sign of his evolved character, valuing happiness over possessiveness.
And this positive, albeit surprising news directly paves the way for Captain Wentworth's presence in Bath, setting the path to resolution for our protagonists.
Finally.
Admiral Croft reveals that Frederick is now in Bath and encourages Mrs. Croft to invite him to visit. Anne soon learns Wentworth is in Bath and encounters him in Milsom Street. His embarrassment is noted.
A crucial signal.
A crucial signal that his feelings are far from indifferent. The narrator describes him as a man of principle, of honor, and consideration, painting a very different picture from Sir Walter's earlier dismissals.
The stage is now perfectly set for their inevitable and much anticipated confrontation.
Right. The tension has been building, and now we arrive at the heart of the story. Confrontation, forgiveness, and a new beginning. Anne has that fleeting encounter with Wentworth in Milsom Street.
Where his embarrassment is clearly evident, reveals his still strong feelings.
And then, complicating everything, Mr. Elliot appears, effectively laying claim to Anne's arm and walking away with her right in front of Captain Wentworth.
Oh, terrible timing. This incident leaves Anne in a whirlwind of agitation, pain, pleasure, something between delight and misery.
A clear indication her feelings are still strong.
And his reaction confirms hers are not unreciprocated, despite the confusing public display. We later learn Wentworth's perspective. He had been influenced by the horrible eligibilities and proprieties of the Elliot-Dalrymple-Elliot match.
Thinking she'd go for the safe, suitable option.
Exactly. Believing that Anne, given her past and Lady Russell's influence, would yield to persuasion again and accept Miss Mr. Elliot, it's a heartbreaking misunderstanding born of old wounds and societal pressure.
The emotional stakes are raised even higher at the concert, where Mr. Elliot's continued attentions play a crucial role, unintentionally sparking Wentworth's jealousy.
Ah, the concert scene.
Yes, Anne finds herself seated next to Mr. Elliot, who continues his calculated flattery, remarking that she is too modest for the world, too highly accomplished for modesty to be natural.
Laying it on thick. Captain Wentworth then approaches Anne, his demeanor grave. He acknowledges the frightful hour at Lyme and expresses his happiness for Louisa and Benwick.
Okay.
Crucially, he implies he has overcome his past regrets and learned to distinguish true character, saying, "The day has produced some very good," referring to Louisa's recovery and engagement. He then abruptly leaves.
Just leaves? Why?
Leaving Anne to deduce the meaning of his gravity and abruptness. It's a moment pregnant with unspoken emotion, a clear signal of his internal conflict.
Anne's realization hits her. Something must be the matter. She perceives his jealousy of her affection for Mr. Elliot.
Which brings exquisite gratification, but also misery, as she struggles with how to communicate her true feelings amidst such profound misunderstandings.
A moment of clarity for her, confirming his feelings.
Definitely. This moment, though brief, is a critical turning point. Wentworth's abrupt departure stems from his observation of Mr. Elliot's attentions to Anne, rekindling his old fears about her persuadable temper.
Still worried she'll be persuaded away.
It's a painful confirmation of his deep feelings and his renewed hope, tangled with despair at the perceived obstacles. He's at a precipice, realizing he cannot lose her again.
The emotional climax, the moment we've all been waiting for, arrives with the letter, a declaration of undying affection.
The letter, yes.
At the White Hart Hotel, during a busy social gathering, Anne finds herself near a writing table. Captain Wentworth, seizing his chance, returns to the room, retrieves a letter he had been writing from under some papers, and places it before Anne with eyes of glowing entreaty fixed on her.
Oh, the intensity. The contents of this letter are just a passionate, unrestrained declaration that melts years of pain and misunderstanding.
What does it say?
He admits his obstinacy of self-will and pride had prevented an earlier reconciliation. He affirms his true attachment and constancy, stating with raw vulnerability, "You pierce my soul. I am half agony, half hope."
Half agony, half hope. Wow.
He reveals his long-standing belief that he had earned every blessing, but now realizes he must learn to brook being happier than I deserve, acknowledging that his own pride and misjudgment had caused years of suffering for them both.
It's one of literature's most powerful love letters.
Laying bare the cost of pride and regret. What a moment. It's a flood of suppressed emotion finally unleashed.
It's a turning point for both characters.
This leads us to the walk home, where Wentworth's confession and Anne's vindication finally take place. Charles Musgrove, perhaps unknowingly,
Good old Charles.
orchestrates for Captain Wentworth to walk Anne home, giving them the private space they desperately need. During this walk, Wentworth makes a heartfelt, deeply regretted confession. He openly shares his agony over her persuadable temper, his fear that she would again yield to influence, especially with Mr. Elliot's strong supports.
He admits his fears.
Candidly admits his past error in judging her, stating he saw everything to exalt in his estimation the woman he had lost. He bitterly regrets the 6 years of separation and suffering that could have been spared had he simply written to her in 1808 when he first gained his fortune.
A profound admission of error shows his growth.
Absolutely. And this allows Anne her long-awaited vindication.
What does she say?
She asserts that her past decision was to persuasion exerted on the side of safety, not of risk. She clarifies that in marrying a man indifferent to me, all risk would have been incurred and all duty violated. She explains her past actions weren't weakness, but a painful, principled choice based on what she believed was right at the time.
Reclaiming her narrative. Powerful.
This conversation is the core of their reconciliation and understanding. Overcoming pride and persuasion, they finally achieve a full understanding and reconciliation, overcoming the retarding weight, the doubt, the torment of the past. It's a beautiful moment of honesty, forgiveness, and renewed connection.
A testament to enduring love.
Anne returns home that evening, happier than anyone in that house could have conceived, experiencing that profound mix of agitation, pain, pleasure, of something between delight and misery.
With Anne and Wentworth finally together, let's look at the family reactions and future prospects. Sir Walter and Elizabeth.
Well, despite their vanity and previous lack of affection for Anne, they are eventually satisfied. Captain Wentworth, with his £25,000 and as high in his profession as merit and activity could place him, is undeniably no longer nobody.
Money talks, even for Sir Walter.
Apparently. Sir Walter is very much struck by his personal claims and superiority of appearance, finding his well-sounding name acceptable. His superficiality remains, but for once it aligns with a positive outcome for Anne.
And Lady Russell, the original persuader.
She suffers some pain in relinquishing her high opinion of Mr. Elliot. However, she ultimately admits she was pretty completely wrong about both men, learning to truly value Captain Wentworth's character over superficial status.
Good for her. Shows growth.
It's a testament to her good heart and capacity for growth that she can acknowledge her errors.
Mary, still complaining.
Ever self-centered, still petty, wishing for Henrietta to take place of Mama, but she is placated by Anne's newfound status and the prospect of a pretty landaulette in the future.
Oh, the landaulette. Shallow motivations, but Anne's happy.
Exactly. And Mr. Elliot, what happens to him?
His best plan of domestic happiness is utterly deranged. He soon quitted Bath. The narrative reveals his true double game as he then established Mrs. Clay under his protection in London.
So he ends up with Mrs. Clay after all.
Yep, confirming his scheme to prevent her from marrying Sir Walter and securing his own inheritance. Mrs. Clay, in turn, sacrificed her chance at being Lady Elliot for Mr. Elliot.
A telling detail about his manipulative power and her misguided ambition. Both receive their just, if ironic, deserts.
Our deep dive concludes with The Sailor's Wife, Anne's joy and enduring love. Anne faces some unique challenges, right? She has no family to receive and estimate him properly.
But she finds immense comfort and belonging in his loving family, the Crofts, embracing them fully. It's a beautiful resolution for a woman so long undervalued by her own blood.
And Captain Wentworth, he steps up too.
Oh, absolutely. Proving his character once again, he demonstrates his generosity by fulfilling Anne's long-held wish to help Mrs. Smith. He aids her by putting her in the way of recovering her husband's property in the West Indies, acting with the activity and exertion of a fearless man and a determined friend.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It's a powerful display of his character, combining decisive action with deep compassion, precisely the kind of man Anne always knew him to be. Anne, in turn, finds her ultimate happiness, affirming that she gloried in being a sailor's wife.
And while she finds profound happiness in this, she must accept the tax of quick alarm for belonging to that profession which is more distinguished in its domestic virtues than in its national importance.
It's a poignant truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even in profound love and partnership, there are inherent anxieties and separations, especially when the demands of a partner's profession are so great.
What does it mean to fully embrace love and partnership, even when it comes with these inherent anxieties and separations? Anne accepts this with grace and strength, a true testament to her enduring character and the powerful choices she finally makes for herself.
A timeless question for anyone forging their own path in love and life. And it reminds us that true happiness often comes not from avoiding risk, but from embracing the entirety of what love and commitment entail, including that tax of quick alarm that makes the quiet moments of togetherness so much more precious.
And there you have it. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us and this story.
Thanks, everyone.
If you enjoyed it, a simple like or subscribe helps the channel out more than you know. Be good and take care.